I run a multiple seven-figure business. I have a team that runs the day-to-day operations in delivery and sales. I'm married, I have a stepson, and I deal with the chaos of a full house that sometimes has up to five kids in it at any given time. I also maintain great friendships, travel the world, and have some epic events that we run with our clients every opportunity that I get to. And there is absolutely no way that I'd be able to do this if I didn't learn how to start planning my weeks properly a couple of years back. There is absolutely nothing worse than waking up on like a Monday morning to like 50 fires after feeling like I didn't really achieve anything that monumental the week before, don't really feel like I'm in momentum, and don't really even want to go and do what it is that I've built for myself fundamentally. In fact, that feels like absolute fucking hell to me. But every single week, I speak with someone new, either a client or a prospect or someone at an event of ours who usually struggles to gain momentum in their business and honestly in their life as well, right? Every week sort of feels like it's the same, and you kind of built like this little prison for yourself you didn't really expect to. So today, what I wanted to share with you specifically is a system that I use to gain momentum back in my life and my business every single week. I call this the weekly win system. Every single week, I sit down and figure out what went well, what lessons I learned, and what the week ahead needs to look like. I review the monthly metrics, what we're moving toward at the moment. That might be things to do with, cash, retention, sales, so I can chat with our team and figure out what it is that they ideally need to do for us to be able to hit our targets. And then I look at the projects that we're currently working on based on our current 6 week game plan that we've either done for ourselves or with our clients, so we can figure out what needs to happen to be able to push those ones through to the end of the project so we can make sure that gets done before the 6 weeks is up. And then because we're building a business that is meant to actually build a life for us, I make sure that the things that are actually happening in life have a plan associated to each of them as well. So that's things like work, obviously, that one it goes without saying, but I'm talking travel, investing, anything to do with Michelle or a marriage at any given time that we need to be focused on or working in, and everything else associated to that too. And then I think about the question that makes it all quote unquote worth it for me, right? So instead of asking like, what would make this week good or what do I want to get done this week? I ask what would make it so that by the time that Friday comes, I could scream, fuck yes, because of how impressed I am with the progress that we made in this last week. If by Friday at 5 p.m., this list of things actually happened, I would celebrate so fucking hard. And I use that question to be able to get some energy around it, because when I'm trying to grow a business, trying to lead a life, trying to create the great things that I keep saying that I want to do, I need some energy around it, right? I'm optimizing for energy, excitement, and making sure that I have both of those every single week as I walk into it, because I want to come into the week excited about what I'm working on. I want to know why I'm excited about it. And then I want to have this like relentless energy that I attack things with that I wouldn't normally have if I didn't actually do the planning properly and didn't create that or curate that. I want to have that like day one energy again, right? And that's the stuff that will actually change the game for you if you allow it to. So before I walk through this, if you would like a copy of this and the GPT that I actually created for our clients, message me the word weekly dash win system on Instagram, and I'll send this across to you so you can actually get access to the two assets that you'll get, so you can do this along at home by yourself. But let me walk you through what this actually is, right? So we want to start by reviewing what actually happened in the last week, right? What wins happened? What lessons did we learn? What are we excited for? And trying to figure out, right, like what can we celebrate as a team, as a company, in my family, in anything that actually is worth celebrating, so we can actually, instead of only focusing on the bad, instead of only focusing on things that aren't actually helping us, being able to rally around and talk through things that went well and talk about the lessons together and be able to figure out what can we do together in the next week to be able to win more. I want to review the week properly, figure out what's working, what's not, and then go into the conversation. And like I usually on a Saturday morning, it's Saturday here for me right now, it's 3:01 p.m. I'll call my team and just say, yo, dude, you crushed it this week in XYZ area. Or, hey, this is an area I would love for us to work on in the next week. Like, what are you feeling about that? And how can we get about that? And how can we do that? Or I might chat with another team member and say, hey man, I'm really fucking excited for what's coming up in the next few weeks in the area that we're working, right? So like today I called Victor, who is on our coaching team, and called him and just said, dude, I'm really fucking excited for these 2 or 3 new workshops we have coming up. We've got a new paid advertising one, and we've got another couple of events that we're doing. We're currently in preparation for a live event in Vancouver for our clients on October 22nd and 23rd here in 2026. So I'm just like talking through these things that I'm currently excited for with the team. And it gives me an opportunity to be able to reflect and figure out what did they do well? What did we as a team do well? And what are areas that we could be looking forward to, excited with, or excited to look forward to, so that I can actually bring some energy back into everything in a positive way. Because, dude, you get smoked in the fucking face every single week, right? If you aren't sitting there taking the time to reflect on these things, you might get smoked too. And then currently as a team, we want to look through the monthly targets and figure out like, are we on pace? Are we not on pace? And this might be, the targets might be in terms of current revenue, it might be profit, it might be MRR, it might be um, retention, it might be anything specific, that might be a metric to the business that we're currently focused on that are the highest priority things for us to focus on based on this current cycle or season that we are in. We want to just track that, make sure we're on track, and then figure out like how are we pacing right now to be able to make sure that I can align the team and manage the team and have the team rise up to being able to solve the lead generation issue or the close rate issue or the retention issue or whatever the current circumstance or problem might be that we might need to come up against, so that we can actually all rally around that and know where we're at right now and figure out what the gap is and how to close that gap together. But a lot of the time, I'm also looking at this in terms of like personal things as well, right? It's like it might be net worth, it might be how much money we have coming up for the next investment fund or whatever it is that we need to actually use the business profits for to be able to actually live the life that we want or build the life that we want. And that stuff has to show up in the weekly targets for the progress tracking for these things as well. So whenever I'm like chatting with a client, when they send this across to me, because I usually expect to see it once a week, once they've done it, I'm looking to see like, are they on pace? Are they not on pace? Then as a coaching team, we can actually take the time to review and see if this is the area that's most struggling, and like go and check out this playbook or book in for a session with this coach. Or can you come to this workshop where we're currently running on, paid advertising on the third of the month to be able to solve this, and we can solve it all together using the new playbook that we've currently put together, if that makes sense, right? So we currently do like a weekly check-in form structure. So if someone will send us this, either a version of the weekly win system, or we have an actual check-in form that people will send to us, we'll be able to figure out what and help them diagnose what it is that might be preventing them from being able to hit their targets faster, and then take them toward more of the goals that they actually want to hit and everything else too, right? So like that's the benefit of being able to do this, is not just doing it yourself, but when you're working with us as a client, you also get us to review your targets on a weekly basis and give you help diagnose what the actual core root issue is, and then give you either the playbook, book you in for a call with a specific coach to be able to solve that problem, or get your team involved in any of the actual sessions we're running, or get them booked in with one of our teams to be able to solve that shit instantaneously as well. That's the benefit of doing that. And that usually wraps us up for like the review element of this. So at that point, we know what worked, what didn't, what we're excited for, and then the reasons for the current circumstance. You then have the ability to be able to tap into us and get my team to be able to figure out, like, help you diagnose the actual core root issue, help you figure out what needs to happen to be able to actually get, moving and cranking it this next week or two, and then figure out what resources we might have, be it a playbook or a team member that you need to be booked in with for either ads or sales training or management training, or whatever the current circumstance issue is right now, and we'll help you crush it. So that's like the review element. Then we have the preview element, right? So if you're a predictable client and you're in the program that we currently run right now, you will know that we do everything based on like 6-week game plan cycles. So like it starts with your 12-month goals, then your quarterly goals that we want to use or, leverage to be able to help you attack that 12-month goal. And then we break the quarter, into 2 6-week cycles, so that you actually have a really strong opportunity to be able to crush two major goals in that 6-week cycle, to be able to usually be able to jump a revenue level or two. Usually across 6 weeks, what I'm looking to see happen is like jumping a revenue level or bringing a new team member in to be able to help you do that as well. And what we do is we try to make it so that there's never any more than two or three main projects that you're currently working on so that you stay wildly focused and you're focused on attacking the core root issues that you're currently dealing with, and you don't end up just randomly doing random shit that doesn't actually move the needle for you, for your business, for your life, for your team, for your investments, or whatever else that it is that you're actually trying to do. And this is the time every single week where we are reviewing where are we at on pace, or where are we at in relation to that project being finished that might change the game for us. So some of these projects might be installing new sales process, or like redeveloping a new sales process so we can actually get a high conversion rate on calls, and so that you can actually have your sales reps run the calls as opposed to it having to be you, the founder, on the calls all the time. Like that might be one specific project. Another project might be launching a VSL funnel, right? Or launching a playbook funnel, an outcome-based playbook funnel that is designed to be able to help bring in qualified lead flow every single day based on an outcome they already want, right? So it's like that's a whole project that across a 6-week period we want to see, the playbook up, the offer validated, the leads coming in, good cost per book call, dialed, etc., right? So it's like that's a whole project that might take 6 weeks to start getting right before you start scaling up. And then another version of a project might be like, training up a new sales rep, or it might be bringing in a new client success manager, or it might be getting a client success manager actually doing some training for the rest of your clients, or whatever it is that it might be, right? Depending on where you're at right now and what the next level is, we start putting together some projects that help you really clearly understand what is going to move the needle. And then we just on a weekly basis want to check to see, like, if you said last week that you were going to get the new ads up, did you do it, and what do you need to do next? Or you said that you would build out the pre-call assets for the sales process, and maybe you only got 70% done, and what you need to do is close that out. And then what you need to do next is to maybe build a new script or whatever else that it is for that, and you need to catch up with one of our sales trainers, or you need to catch up with Chris to go across some leadership training or something to the effect of that. But like, then you can see, I've done this, we're currently here, and this is what I need to do next to get this project finished. And that's part of the thing that you would send across to us in the weekly report that we would get from you, or the check-in, or the weekly win system you would send across to us, so we can figure out which coach to connect you with, or which playbook to get you up with, or what we need to build for you on the back end to be able to actually help you out here too. And that's like the preview process for the week based on the actual rocks and everything else associated to them as well. If you get this right, you'll actually start seeing real movement in the company, right? Like, it won't be a random thing anymore. You'll start actually getting really, 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 really strong fucking results. And again, if you want a copy of this and the GPT that I created for this, I want you to just send me a message on Instagram. I'll send you the link to do that below, but weekly-win-system, and I'll get this whole thing across to you as well. And then, because, like I said, when I opened this up, I run a multi-7-figure business. I have a team that run the day-to-day. I have a coaching team that are awesome. I have, a crazy amount of clients that we're all working with as a consequence of that. I'm also a husband, a dad, and a friend who travels the world, and all the goodies come along with that too, right? So as a consequence of that, I need to be pretty fucking ruthlessly planned with everything that I do within that week. So like, in order to be able to attack all the main areas of life, so like work, health, relationships, and wealth, I need to be like wildly aware, like, what do I need to be focused on, or who do I need to be this week to be able to win in the areas of work, health, relationships, and wealth? And every single week this changes, right? Because within work, it might be I may need to be a better leader, right? Like, maybe because of the past few weeks, I've noticed that I've dropped the ball in some cases, or I have not shown up in the way that I need to. And in order for me to win this week, what it would look like for me to be able to do that is booking a one-to-one with each team member, and just like re-engage some of that energy again. It might be, film a bunch of new ads. It might be doing videos like this for you guys to be able to binge in new content and be able to actually, see what it looks like, or see what it might hear like, to be able to work with us before we even get the opportunity to be able to do that. And it's just like, now I have what winning the week looks like in terms of like my actual behaviors, or what I might want to do in the category of work. Then I have the category of health, which is, for me, it can be really simple, right? It's like, I want to focus on my mental health this week. I want to focus on actual training sessions this week. I want to focus on the amount of water I drink this week. I want to focus on the amount of protein I eat, right? And like, for me, a lot of the time, it comes down to being able to hit my 180 grams of protein per day, and prioritizing that as a really big thing. It might be drinking enough water. It might be decreasing my caffeine, which is let's be honest, that's never gonna fucking happen. But it's like, what if I were to win my health this week? What would that look like? Would it be 3 gym sessions, 180 grams of protein every single day, and not eating too much fucking chocolate or something? Like that would be what the winning in health is. And who do I need to speak to be able to hold me to an account of that? It might be Michelle, it might be someone else. But it's like, then I've got work and health dialed in, and I'm looking to relationships, right? So it's like, if I was thinking in terms of like winning the week in relationships, like, what do I need to do that would make my marriage feel good? Do I need to plan a date night? Do I need to show up and be a better leader at home? Do I need to spend more time with my stepson? Do I need to organize and tell my mother? Do I need to reach out to friends that I haven't connected with in a while and like organize a catch up or something, right? Like, what would make the relationships area strong this week if I were to invest, a percentage of time into it, essentially, right? I think something a lot of people forget to do is like, they'll very happily put together work goals, but they'll forget about health and relationship goals, and they'll always like feel depressed and not actually have what feels like a fulfilled life. And it really just comes down to a lack of prioritized planning more than anything else, right? And every single week you want to have a plan for work, health, relationships, and then the last one is wealth, right? It's like, I'm always trying to think about, how can I use the business profits to go into more investing? How can I use, whatever money is coming in? Many people that we work with use Bitcoin. Many people that we work with use, buying other businesses. Many other people are not currently at a stage where they're figuring wealth out. They might just be doing education on better financial literacy, better financial leadership, like, cash flow reporting or whatever else it is. They might just be doing education on how to actually run their, financial operations better, so they can actually start investing when they do get to the point of doing that, right? Like, if you know much about us, in our own customer journey for when people work with us, we have like a 3-year plan we want to work with people on. The first one is building a 7-figure business, or the infrastructure for you to be able to do that, which is like, you revenue systems, leadership systems, and teams to be able to help you hit 7 figures. The second year is actually having a team-led growth, which is like where your team actually run the business for you, multiple millions, or could just be staying at the 7 figures, but you literally bought all your time back and they're actually leading the show for you, while you focus on better marketing, better offers, better retention, all the goodies that come with that. But the third year is like, how do we use all your business profits into generating wealth? Generating whatever wealth version might be. If you might be, investing into property, it might be buying real estate, it might be shares, it might be any of the good things, like, could be purchasing alternative businesses and acquiring other stuff for mergers and acquisitions and all that stuff too, right? It could be any version of those things, because I want you to be able to use the business profits to be able to actually create the life that you want, because that's what you set out to do when you first started to like want to build this business, right? Like that was the whole fucking purpose. So we're always trying to think about that stuff, right? And then once we've done that, like, we're really just trying to have you have a plan that is holistic and not just focused on business in particular. But all of this is great. But like I said at the beginning of this, I want you to have some of that energy behind it, right? So this is where I probably spend most of my time thinking about this. Is like, if by Friday at 5 p.m., the following things were to happen, I would celebrate so fucking hard. And it's just like, I just want to note as many things down here as humanly possible, right? It's like, currently right now, for me, the answer to this question, if I'm thinking about the business aspect, is like, if I can get the coaching team aligned on the new perspective of like, our business is almost like a fitness center, right? Where it's like, we have group classes, we have epic equipment, and we have awesome one-to-one support and coaching and stuff that we can do for people. We build ad campaigns, we will train sales teams to do all, like, everything, if that makes sense, right? To be able to help someone like build a business that runs without them fundamentally. And it's like, I want to be able to redevelop the next version of what the coaching calendar looks like and get the team on board for that. And if by Friday that had happened, I'd be over the fucking moon, because we can launch into Q3 and Q4 with the new calendar built out, with the new events built out and everything else too. And then the next thing is that Michelle and I are going to put together all the details for Vancouver, which is the next live client event that we are running. And the second that we book the flights and the second we book the actual venue for it, I'm over the fucking moon, right? Because I'm like, I know we're doing it, I know we're traveling, I know we're going to bring the team involved and everything else associated to that too. And it just gets me wildly excited, like a kid again, if that makes sense. So I spend a couple of minutes there, and I really put the effort into thinking about what would make me energetic around this again, so I don't have to fucking ruin myself without actually feeling the excited momentum that I would want to experience and feel like that I originally started this business for, and then being able to use the profits to be able to achieve that as well. And then, very simple. I just want to actually schedule everything, right? Like, I don't know, probably one of those really smart people, might have been Tony Robbins or something that I heard said it originally, was if it's not in your calendar, I don't expect it to happen, right? So, like, if we've said we're going to do these things in our rocks, if we said we're going to hit these targets, if we said we're going to achieve these criteria for goals for the week, and we said this is what would make us really fucking excited by the end of the week, if that makes sense, I just want to like schedule it into the week, right? Like, if I said I want to, do 3 sessions. I'm going to do it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If I said I want to make sure that the Vancouver stuff is done, I want to schedule a meeting in on Monday with Michelle to be able to make sure we get that done. If I said I need to meet with the sales team to be able to increase the conversion rates by, bringing in the new sales process, I might want to schedule an hour on the Wednesday for us to be able to do that, and then I'll tell them all about that before obviously we do that. But now I've got it planned. Now I've been able to communicate that with the team, and now I've been able to help them get across what the plan is and everything else too. Now the smartest thing, just for reference, if you want to use this, is like do this and then get your team to do it as well. So you guys are all aligned and all actually creating really, really, really strong momentum across each different department, and each person feels like they're absolutely crushing it, right? Like, my favorite thing to do is see my clients do this, but I get even more excited when I see my clients' team members doing this stuff, because I know that they're getting progress in their work, their health, their relationships, and their wealth as a consequence of the stuff that we are doing, and it makes me feel fucking amazing, if that makes sense, right? That's the magic of the stuff that we do when you're working with someone like us. The really cool thing about this is with the GPT I keep talking about. Sorry, this is it here. It literally just is a weekly win system, right? If you click this, it will start asking you the questions. It'll ask you to brain dump, and what I typically tend to do is, like, I will turn on the dictate function. I usually do it on my phone, and I'll go for a walk, and I'll just answer the fucking questions, right? Like, I will just answer the questions. I will do a stream of consciousness, and then by the end of it, it actually creates a fucking plan for me. This is when we mapped out for a client a few like a while back. It was like targets, what needs to happen, and it actually maps out the whole plan for you, if that makes sense, right? It's not some random bullshit. It gives you the whole fucking plan, and it shows you exactly what to do to be able to win. So by clicking these buttons and playing around with it, you can actually have your whole week mapped out. It will give you the plan, and then you just need to follow the plan broken down day by day more than anything else. So if you want a copy of that, again, send me the word weekly-win-system on Instagram, and it'll automatically send to you over via ManyChat. I would use that shit like crazy if I were you. Either way, hope this helps, and catch you soon, I guess. I couldn't think of a different way to end that. Catch you soon, send me the message, and hope you guys fucking crush it.